Welcome back to the Best Damn Nerd Show. James Kincaid alongside Imperial Commissar Jeff Budd. And we're going to be getting into The Sopranos, a prequel movie coming to HBO and theaters.
Theaters too,
yeah. Pretty soon here. The Many Saints of Newark. It has a trailer. Our guy Johnny Bernthal is in it, who we love.
Friend of the show.
Yeah, I mean, we wish. Certainly,
maybe we throw that around a bit much, but I think with John, it means a bit more.
we are certainly a supporter of his, no doubt about it. But how do you feel about the Many Saints of Newark project, Jeff? Because I know, as you referenced last segment, you've been eschewing our own podcast in favor of Talking Sopranos.
Yeah.
So I know you're a big fan of that show. I mean, I think the appreciation for it has probably only gone up in recent years, given how certain other shows have ended and things like that. What do you
still on top, baby?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, what are your thoughts on this prequel project, though?
I mean, I was sort of hesitant to begin with, just because I don't know. I get a little nervous about those types of things. I'm not always in favor of prequels, just because then it's better sometimes to just have the references in a series and then let the viewer or reader's imagination sort of fill in the gaps. And I think that's usually, just the best way to do it. But then when you do the prequels, you actually end up, portraying whatever those legendary scenes were, or those types of characters. And it's not, necessarily what was originally intended or imagined, and I think it always kind of falls short. I'm not a big fan of this. I watched the trailer for the first time today. I hated all the still shots I had seen, but still shots on a set are one thing. Actually seeing it, play out is different. But when I saw the trailer, I don't know, man. I mean, will it be cool to see Dickie Moltisanti? Maybe. But I think it's also weird that Tony is so obsessed with him in the trailer, because it's Tony idolized his dad too. I mean, there were multiple reasons why Tony got into the business. I don't think it was just because of Christopher's father, and he had a good relationship with Junior until I feel like season 1 of the series, when Junior tried to whack him. They were tight, and even the flashbacks in the Sopranos show, you saw how close they were, because Junior doesn't have a family. So Tony's his son, essentially, and then especially once Tony's father passes away, Junior kind of stepped in a little bit and was sort of a surrogate father to him as well. So I don't and Dickie Moltisanti just running around and doing all this stuff. I was I don't think that's really how it's going. That's not how it played out originally, in the story. And I don't know. We'll see. Kind of looking forward to seeing the April brothers when they were younger, because Jackie was barely in the series, and Richie, I love. I mean, he was my favorite part of season 2. He's one of my favorite nemesis of Tony's. The Jackie, yeah, because it's so funny that you should mention that, because I think I'm on season 4 of them talking Sopranos now. I just recently rewatched the series, which is why I wanted to listen to the podcast. And they were talking about different casting choices for Richie April, and a lot of the people they had in mind were basically other big guys that physically would sort of match up better with James Gandolfini.
Yeah,
but it's not about the size, because Richie April, he ended up being a small guy. That actor is a short guy, but it's
that
just
loose fucking cannon aspect of him.
Dude. And that he was probably already something before he went into prison, but then whatever that was broke, you know, and
completely.
And there's this one great scene where I think it's the first time that Tony's really trying to enact something on him, and he's screaming right in his face, and Richie doesn't even blink. He's just staring. Those dead eyes just right through. He's just seeing right through Tony. And I love that. And Richie April apparently is the one that bailed Tony and Jackie out of when they made a name for themselves, when they broke up the card game. Richie's the one who got them out of trouble. So I hear that we may see the card game. I don't know if I want to, honestly, because it's legendary. That's what put Tony and Jackie on the map. It's it's not going to come off as well.
I completely agree with you on that point. And you said something in terms of you're not usually in support of prequel, or not. You're not always in support of prequels.
Well, I think we can all agree that we love the Star Wars prequels.
For the memes,
the official Star Wars movies of the best damn nerds.
They are the choicest memes for certain. But I think you hit on all the points on why this is a bad idea, because there's so much that is left up to the imagination, or just, given, small details to, and intentional gaps left to fill in, that when you go back and try and fill them in, you can never live up to it. Like you said, the card game breakup is a legendary story. Yeah. It's going to be an incredible task to try and make that come off in the way that sort of leaving out details, that it could even achieve that sort of legendary status to it. So I think it's an awesome tribute that James Gandolfini's son is playing young Tony and everything like that. But I think the project as a whole is a bad idea. Going back and touching the Sopranos is just, why? Like, I know the reason why is money, but but in terms of artistically, it's done, and it was great for what it was, and it still stands the test of time in so many people's eyes as, for a lot of people, the pinnacle of television, one of the all-time great TV series ever. And so to go back and revisit it, even as much as I love Johnny Bernthal, and like you said, this obsession with Moltisanti is, I don't know, it feels like they're going to change a lot or tweak a lot of the lore to suit the ends of this movie, and I don't know, I just have no real interest in that.
Also, we're probably going to find out how he actually died, which I think is a bad idea too. I like the idea of it being up in the air. Did that cop kill him? You could still say that Tony was being completely honest with Christopher that night, and that cop actually did kill him, and then Christopher actually did get his revenge, or Tony was just completely using Christopher to just get rid of this cop that they needed to for whatever reason. It's like, I like the idea of it being up in the air. We don't need to know everything. And I thought that's like what David Chase sort of thrived on with The Sopranos, that, certain storylines, it sort of just ended. We didn't get the conclusion that we expected. Like, if you want to talk about like the defense that they always have for The Last Jedi and everything like that, as far as with your expectations and everything.
Subverting expectations.
Subverting your expectations. I feel like The Sopranos actually did that in a way that you're supposed to, where it actually served the narrative. With Melfi's rape and everything like that. You had audiences that were bloodthirsty and wanted revenge, and it's like, you have Tony do something about it. And nothing was resolved through law enforcement. Nothing was resolved through her criminal connections. It's like that story then just ended, and it's like, sometimes that's just how it's supposed to be. And I thought that fit a lot better, and it served her character. And I think they ended up making the right choice with the way they did that. And that's just one example. Sopranos had a bunch of things that were like that. So I don't need everything wrapped up in a neat little bow. I don't need the entire background of everybody like really, filled out. And also, like, because it's going to be a bunch of characters that already existed, with a few exceptions, you're either going to look at the actors and say that they're doing an impression of the previous character. Like, are you telling me that Paulie's not going to end up just being a fucking cartoon character in this?
Yeah.
And it's like, that is Tony Sirico, though. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, no, for sure. Even in the Stacker 2 commercials.
Yeah, it's like, that's just what he's like. And so I'm going to get some young guy doing a Tony Sirico impression, and it's not going to be good.
Will Silver? I guess it would be prior to Godfather 3 being out, so I don't know if we'll get Sylvie's.
He's not going to have the impression. Maybe he does something else then. He has a different impression.
It's just been an impression, maybe. Yeah, it's his whole life.
And he just drops that one once he gets a new one.
I don't see this ending well, and the fact that it's a movie too. Because originally when I saw that, I thought this was going to be like a new like limited series or whatever.
That's what I thought too. I thought it was going to be well, I guess they don't even call them miniseries anymore because they're always doing different stuff. But yeah, I thought it would be like a few episode arc, and that would like be that
because
story.
Because like what you just talked about too, how the Sopranos tell stories and how they end stories, in my opinion, doesn't really fit the film format in general.
Which I thought is also part of the reason why they never did a Sopranos movie. Because, I mean, by the time Gandolfini passed away, there was, several years gap where if they had wanted to, do something. And I mean, Tony didn't officially die in the finale. I think he died. But, I mean, you didn't have to do that. You could have had the story go on if they were really thirsty for money.
Yeah. Totally.
I don't know.
Yeah. It doesn't. It's another bad prequel idea. And I think it's just more the lack of Hollywood originality and just that chipping away. It's like, hey, people seem to really like this.
That being said, I probably will watch it.
Oh, of course. I think we should watch it. I think we should review it. Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of great Tony Soprano antagonists, I mean, I don't know who you think the best one is, but look no further than fucking Janice. She's the worst.
I'll tell you know what? Rewatching the entire series, I felt like Thanos, since maybe I treated her a bit too harshly. I liked Janice a lot more this last time I watched the series than when I was younger. And it's I don't know, maybe I'm just viewing it through different eyes, or maybe I don't look at Tony the same way anymore. But I was like, you know what? She's not terrible. And I was as pissed as she was when Tony was bringing up that Harpo shit at dinner. So, I was getting angry at him too. Settle down with Bobby. I liked it. Worst thing she ever did was kill Richie. That's
dude.
Spoilers.
The gun to the head. Yeah. Well, whatever. I mean, if you haven't watched it at this point, I mean, you're on your own. I don't know, stealing the Russian chick's leg and just
I didn't.
Why just sell the records? Tony seeing right through that shit.
Well, her and also just trying to get her hands on the house and everything.
Yeah, so, just what a fucking leech, a mooch, dude.
Well, I mean, she is. Yeah.
Yeah, just terrible. Anyway, we'll leave the Many Saints of Newark and the Sopranos there. But yeah, I'm just prepping you, Nerdosphere. There might be some more Sopranos talk on the Best Damn Nerd Show. I think, we should definitely watch that and give our thoughts on it. I am not optimistic for it, but we love Johnny Bernthal.
You just hate new things.
I mean, a lot of new things stink. And I'm not just gonna dance along to the recency bias fife.